Hare Rama Hare Rama Everybody come closer and sit. Don't be too far. Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Changing scales once again. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So Hare Krishna to everybody. Thank you so much for. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for making this program.
Short welcome to Prabhuji with Haribol 3 times. Haribol! Haribol! Haribol. Many of us know Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, especially in this community here, Prabhu. We do a lot of Bhagavatam distribution and a lot of reading on the Bhagavatam. So we are so blessed to have you. And we are also trying to distribute 500 sets this year. So we pray for your blessings
Bhagavatam
and
sets.
wishes. Huh?
Bhagavatam sets.
Bhadra
Okay.
Purnima. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Jayarada Madhav or directly start? Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I offer my humble obeisances to all the devotees who assembled here at ISKCON Nepervilli, right? I was asked to speak from an important shloka from the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna instructs Arjuna to become an instrument in his will. Nimitta matram bhava. Try to repeat. Tasmatva muttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajyam samriddham mayaivaite nihataha purvameva nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. In the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was hesitating to fight with his own relatives because of his intense emotions and feelings for them. When Arjuna was hesitant, Krishna tried to motivate Arjuna by speaking Bhagavad Gita. And after speaking so many philosophical concepts, and also after describing Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga, Krishna gives this final instruction. Not final, but one of the most profound instructions to Arjuna in this way. He says, Tasmat tvam uttishta yasho labhasva. Tasmat means therefore. What is this therefore? Because Krishna spoke so many things just before this shloka and is concluding it. What did Krishna speak? Actually, what was the context of this shloka? Krishna displayed his universal form to Arjuna. Krishna actually displayed two forms. One is Vishwarupa, second is Kala Rupa. Vishwarupa means the form of the universe. Kala Rupa means the form of time. Vishwarupa means he shows the entire universe at one place. Everything in the entire universe is displayed to Arjuna at one place. That is called Vishwarupa or universal form. But Kala Rupa means the form of time, where all the effects of time are displayed to Arjuna. Effects of time means whatever happened in the past, whatever is happening in the present, especially what's going to happen in the future in this battlefield of Kurukshetra. That Krishna displayed in front of Arjuna. And that Kala Rupa, Damshtra Karala Nichate Mukhani. So that's extremely fierce. Hundreds of faces, hundreds of forms, hundreds of hands and hundreds of bellies, hundreds of legs. Arjuna was scared to see that form. Especially he was scared to see that this Kala Rupa had so many faces, and from each of those faces fire was emanating, and all the prominent warriors in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, they were entering into that fire, into the mouths of Vishwarupa. Seeing that, Arjuna got scared and asked him, "Who are you? You look so fierce." Then Krishna said, Kalosmi lokakshayat krit pravriddha. Kalosmi. I am the time factor. I am Kala. What's your duty? What's your mission? Arjuna asked. Krishna said, my mission is to kill all the miscreants in this world. Ritepitvam na bhavishyanti sarve. Except you, Pandavas, who are very righteous, I will not leave anyone in this battlefield of Kurukshetra. My mission is to kill all of them, to destroy all of them. Whoever took the side of adharma will be destroyed. Oh, that's your mission? Then what am I supposed to do? That is Arjuna's question. If Krishna is supposed to kill all the people who stood on the side of adharma, if he has already decided it, what is the role of Arjuna? And that's the context of becoming, yes, that's the context of this shloka. Correct. The role of Arjuna is to act as an instrument in Krishna's will. Hare Krishna. I am very pleased to meet Ravi Prabhu. Last 1 hour we have been discussing. He has a glorious mission. He wants me to be an instrument in his will. That's the topic today. And I'm happy. And what was his mission? So Ravi Prabhu's mission is to present the entire Vedic wisdom, including the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and whatever scriptures are accessible to the humanity, in a format that is very relevant and actionable, relatable, digestible to the modern youth. Glorious mission. He's making an app called Kitab app. Was that supposed to be a secret? Did I reveal it? No? Sorry. I am very pleased and somewhat excited to hear your mission. Therefore, I wanted everyone to know it. Glorious mission. In a format that youth will be able to relate. In short. So coming back to Krishna's mission, Krishna had a mission to destroy adharma. He already revealed that mission in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. How did he reveal? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To protect the righteous, to punish the vicious, and to establish virtues, dharma. That is the mission of Krishna. And Pandavas are on the side of dharma, and Duryodhana and party were on the side of adharma. To destroy Duryodhana and his supporters and to protect Pandavas was the mission of Krishna. So he displayed that mission in his Kala Rupa. So he had so many mouths, and from those mouths this fire was emanating, and this Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Shakuni, all these people, Duryodhana, Dushyasan, they were entering into the fires. into the fire coming from the mouth of Kalarupa. Then Arjuna had a question. If you have already decided to kill them, you are about to kill them, what is my role here? So Krishna says this. Tasmat tvam uttishta yasho labhasva. Tasmat, therefore, tvam uttishta. Get up, Arjuna. And do what? See these points. First point is yasho labhasva. Yash means fame, reputation. Labhasva means you gain. So first point is, Arjuna, please get up and gain reputation. Gain fame. Very exciting, right? Krishna says, I'll make you famous. Yes, why not? Let me be famous. But he says next point, Jitva Shatrun. To become famous, you have to Jitva Shatrun, conquer your enemies. Jitva means to conquer. Shatrun means enemies. Oh, I have to conquer enemies. I can gain fame. I'm happy if you're making me famous. But if I have to work for it, oh. Then third point, Bhungshva Rajyam Samriddham. Bhungshva means to enjoy. What to enjoy? Rajyam, kingdom. Samriddha means very prosperous. Enjoy a prosperous kingdom. Basically, he spoke three things. One, enjoy a prosperous kingdom. Then, gain reputation and work for it. Conquer your enemies. So, first one, Jitva Shatrun seems to be, first one, Yasholabhasva seems to be very easy, exciting. Gaining reputation is good. And enjoying prosperous kingdom is also good. But Jitva Shatrun, conquering enemies seems to be difficult. Then Krishna addressed it in the third line. Mayai vaite nihataha purvameva. Now I am telling you, Jitva Shatrun, conquer the enemies. But please understand, Mayai vaite, by me, nihataha purvameva. They were defeated, they were killed before only. Purvameva. As soon as they touched the sari of Draupadi, hair of Draupadi, I have decided their death. You don't have to do anything. Right? So, Mayaivaite nihataha purvameva. By me, they have already been killed long back. Then what are you supposed to do? Nimittamatram bhava savyasachin. Nimittamatram bhava. Just become an instrument. Savyasachi means one who releases arrows from both hands. How? Don't ask me. I never released an arrow even with one hand also. But Arjuna can release arrows from both hands, right? Although he is such an expert in the battlefield, he is such a celebrated military person, warrior of his times. He had so many military certificates. He is the favorite student of his military guru, Dronacharya. Still, he is just an instrument in Krishna's hands. That's important. However talented we may be, however powerful we may be, however influential we may be, however experienced we may be, we are just instruments in Krishna's will. Therefore, we should not become proud of our accomplishments. Krishna is giving this instruction to Arjuna. You just be an instrument in my will. I have already killed all of them. So why, if Krishna has already killed all of them, why Krishna is playing the role of a driver? And why he is expecting Arjuna to fight? This is Krishna's love. He does everything and he gives all credit to his devotees. Krishna killed so many demons in his childhood. As a mere child, few days old baby, 6 days old baby, Krishna killed Putana, a gigantic demoness. And as a 3-month-old baby, Krishna vanquished Shakatasur, a cat demon. As a 1-year-old baby, Krishna destroyed Trinavarta, a whirlwind demon. Similarly, Krishna also vanquished Arishtasur, Bakasur, Vatsasur, Vyomasur, Keshi, so many demons, Aghasur. He destroyed so many of them. But not many people know about these demons. But Duryodhan, very popular. Dushyasan, very popular. Karna, very popular. So popular that people think that Karna is the hero of Mahabharata. Misfortune. Right? So, Krishna allowed the Pandavas to kill these popular demons. Although he himself has killed powerful demons. Powerful demons I will kill. But I will maintain a low profile. Popular demons you kill. You maintain high profile. Right? That's how Krishna takes more pleasure in making his devotees more famous than himself. In this most popular Kurukshetra battle, Krishna is allowing Pandavas to win. Pandavas should become glorious. They should become famous. And I will just assist them. I am a Sarathi. Sarathya parishada sevana sakhya dautya virasananugamana stavana pranaman snigdheshu pandushu jagat pranatim cha vishnor bhaktim karoti nrpatis charana aravinde. So Krishna played so many roles in connection with the Pandavas. A Sarathi, a chariot driver, Parishada, Sevana, he's like a servant, Sakhya, friend, Dautya, a messenger. So Krishna did all these simple menial activities in relation to Pandavas because the Pandavas were so malleable by Krishna's will. And Krishna wanted to make them famous. Krishna wanted to give credit to these Pandavas. Let Arjuna be the hero of the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Let Bhima kill all the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra. Let Yudhishthira Maharaj sit on the throne and rule the kingdom. And all of them could do whatever they could do only because of Krishna, but Krishna wants to take a low profile. Without Krishna's empowerment, Pandavas could not have achieved what they achieved. But Krishna took a low profile. He allowed Pandavas to flourish. Krishna killed Narakasur, but he never occupied his kingdom. He made Narakasur son the king. Krishna killed Kamsa, but he never sat on the throne of Mathura. Krishna made Ugrasena the king. Krishna supported the Pandavas to win this Kurukshetra battle, but Krishna never sat on the throne of Hastinapur. He made Yudhishthira Maharaj sit. Krishna was never the king. Whether it is Dwaraka or Vrindavan or Mathura or Hastinapur or Kundinapur or Vidarbha or Pragjyotishpur, he defeated so many people, but he never occupied the position of a king. Because Krishna is that Lord who takes more pleasure in giving his devotees more credit than he takes for himself. Krishna is very beautiful. Therefore, he is called Sarva Saundarya Sangraham. He is the collection of all beauties. But the greatest beauty of Krishna is not in his physical beauty. It's the beauty of his character. It's the beauty of his heart, where he gives more credit to his devotees than he takes for himself. So he is telling Arjuna, my dear Arjuna, Nimitta Matram Bhava. I have already declared the results of the war. All of them will die. You will become victorious. Bhima, how powerful he is. In one arm of Bhima, there is the strength of 10,000 elephants. You know what does that mean? You keep 10,000 elephants in a row. Bhima would punch the first elephant. The 10,000 elephant will fall down. Can you just imagine what must have happened to the first elephant? And second elephant? Chutney. Pulp. That is Bhima's power. But still, without Krishna's support, Bhima could not have killed Jarasandha. Bhima was fighting with Jarasandha for 28 days. 4 weeks, continuous fight. Bhima is unable to defeat him. Then Krishna effortlessly took a piece of a twig and bifurcated into 2 pieces and threw them in different directions. And Bhima got an idea. Oh, this is how I should kill Jarasandha. And Bhima pressed one leg of Jarasandha with his one foot and picked up another leg of Jarasandha and then just tore his body apart into 2 pieces and threw them in different directions. That's how he killed. However powerful Bhima may be, he just could not win over some demons without Krishna's empowerment. Similarly, however talented we may be, however powerful we may be, however experienced we may be, whatever we do is only by Krishna's grace. If a crow takes some peacock feathers and tucks in its tail and starts dancing, right? Oh, I'm looking so beautiful. Peacock is only making fun of itself, isn't it? We cannot be proud of borrowed, crow. We cannot be proud of the borrowed plumes of feather, Prabhupada writes in one purport in the first canto. So whatever we have is only by Krishna's grace. So that's what Krishna is trying to teach through this. And the greatest and best way of living life is to act as an instrument in Krishna's will. So not a blade of grass moves without the Lord's sanction. So what is the logic behind acting as an instrument? We discussed quite a lot, but let's go systematically and understand this concept. What is the logic behind acting as an instrument in Krishna's desires, Krishna's plan, Krishna's will? Because by default, we are all amshas of Krishna. Mama eva amsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. Mama eva amsho. All the living entities, all the jivas are my amshas. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita. As an amsha of Krishna, it is very natural for us to act according to His will. For example, this hand is a part of the body. This finger is a part of the hand. So this finger or this hand is supposed to work for the overall functioning of the body. If the finger says, I will not cooperate with the hand. If the hand says, I will not cooperate with the body. Why should I feed the body? If the hand has some separate independence, the hand doesn't work for the overall maintenance of the body by taking food and putting in the mouth, how will the body function? If you don't put food in the mouth, if the hand says, why this mouth has to accept all the food? Why am I not happy? Why I can't take the food directly? You keep chapati here, you keep sabji here, you keep dal here, hand will not become strong. For the leg to become strong, you can't just keep your gulab jamun on the lap. For the eyes to not just fall off like this, to be very strong and healthy, you can't just pour sambar on your eyes. You can't keep dal on your shoulder. Okay, let my shoulder be very strong. I kept dal here. Let all the power of the dal enter this shoulder. You have to put everything in the mouth only. Right? Then it should go to the belly. Belly apparently may not work, but unless the food goes into the belly, our hands and legs and eyes and nose and everything cannot function. Similarly, unless we render service to Krishna, unless we act according to the will of Krishna, we cannot actually attain happiness in life. Our happiness, our prosperity, our survival lies in how much we serve Krishna. Survival lies in the service of Krishna. So as an amsha of Krishna, as a part of Krishna, we need to work for the plan of Krishna. Mamaivamsho jiva loki, right? So we need to also attribute the credit of our achievements to Krishna. This is the shloka that I was just quoting. Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhutas sanatanaha. And one more logic. Jivera swarupa hai Krishnera nitya das. Our swarupa, our eternal identity, or our eternal constitutional position of every single jiva is Nitya Das, an eternal servant of Krishna. What is the job profile of a servant? Servant has to serve. Simple. That's the logic behind acting as an instrument. We are amshas of Krishna, we are servants of Krishna, we are das of Krishna, therefore we need to serve Him. That's our constitutional position. If we act otherwise, I will not become an instrument in Krishna's will. Then we are not acting according to our natural position. It's very unnatural. To think of oneself as controller, independent enjoyer, master, proprietor, and doer of one's activities is poor consciousness. But to think of Krishna as the Supreme Lord, Supreme Controller, Master, Proprietor, Enjoyer, Doer of everything, I am just a servant, that is pure consciousness. There is a difference between poor consciousness and pure consciousness. The whole spiritual life is meant for evolution of consciousness. That's what we were discussing with Raviji. Evolution of consciousness. There are 5 levels of consciousness, First level, basic level is Avrita Chetana. Consciousness means Chetana. First level is Avrita Chetana. Avrita Chetana means covered consciousness, like plants and trees. Their consciousness is not so developed. They are living beings, but still their consciousness is not developed. You go and pluck a leaf from the tree. or pluck a branch, or take a flower or fruit, the tree doesn't cry in pain because the consciousness is quite covered and not developed. That is Avrita Chetana. Above that is Sankuchita Chetana, shrunken consciousness. Means consciousness is little more developed, but it is not completely developed, right? It's not totally covered like in plants, and it's not totally developed. It's like moderately developed. That is called Sankuchita Chetana, which we can see in animals. If you pluck a leaf or a branch from a tree will not scream in pain. But animals, even if you just pierce an animal with a pin, you should not do it, but if it happens, the animal will cry in pain because there's consciousness, little more developed consciousness. Although physically they are very active, they're conscious beings, but intellectually, emotionally, they are not that developed. Yes, they have emotions, they have some intelligence. If a cat has to drink some milk, cat sees who is there in the kitchen. Nobody is there, then it will go and drink. Right? So they have some consciousness, but that consciousness or that intelligence is centered on how to eat, how to sleep, how to mate, how to defend. So basic necessities of survival only they think about. Their intelligence functions only up to that point. But the third level of consciousness is Mukilita Chetana. Means little more developed consciousness in human beings. So the intelligence of human beings is more evolved compared to animals. Human beings are so intelligent that they develop artificial intelligence and make artificial intelligence more than their own intelligence. More effective than their own intelligence. And Prabhu is expert in that. Last 15 years he has been working on it. So that is developed intelligence. An animal cannot develop. A bird cannot develop. A snake cannot develop. Human beings can develop. So their consciousness is called, first is Avrita Chetana, second is Sankuchita Chetana, third is Mukilita Chetana, budding consciousness. But this budding consciousness is in human beings, general human beings, who may not be practicing spirituality. But if a human being practices spiritual life, then the consciousness of that human being is called Vikasita Chetana. Means blossoming consciousness, right? When you practice spirituality, when you do Sravanam and Kirtanam, when you hear about Krishna, when you chant the holy names of the Lord, it becomes blossomed. Not just budding, but blossoming consciousness. That is called Vikasita Chetana. But if you practice spirituality and perfect it, you become a pure devotee, then the consciousness becomes Purna Vikasita Chetana, fully blossomed consciousness. These are 5 levels of consciousness. Avrita, Sankuchita, Mukulita, Vikasita and Purna Vikasita Chetana. The whole process of Bhakti Yoga brings us to the higher level of consciousness, highest level of consciousness called Purna Vikasita Chetana, where we are completely spiritually evolved beings. Right? Not just practitioners, but perfected beings. So the whole spiritual life is meant to act as an instrument in Krishna's will and come to the stage of Purna Vikasita Chetana. Right? That's our natural function, to serve Krishna. Now, Arjuna in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, he was very compassionate. On whom? His own relatives and friends and family members. He's extremely compassionate. But Krishna told him to fight. Krishna suggested violence, although Arjuna shows compassion. Some people blame Krishna. Arjuna should not have fought. When I was in my college, IISc, in my masters, one of my classmates came and said, Krishna did a mistake. Arjuna was a peace lover. Arjuna never wanted to fight. He was very compassionate. He was non-violent. It is because of Krishna's brainwashing that Arjuna has become so violent. He was saying like this. Arjuna should not have fought. Means Arjuna was compassionate and Krishna was not compassionate? What is it? Is that the right understanding? No. See, Krishna is compassionate. Arjuna's compassion was based on his material emotions. And Krishna's compassion is on a higher spiritual truth. Say if Krishna shows compassion on Duryodhan, and allows to rule Hastinapur, such a tyrannic, evil-minded, degraded Duryodhan, how will he rule citizens? Does it make any sense? Is it logical to keep someone like Duryodhan, who tries to burn his own brothers alive, who tries to burn Kunti Maharani, who is on the level of his mother? He wanted to kill her. He poisons children like Bhima. He disrobes women in public. Is he qualified to sit on the throne? Arjuna is compassionate on him. Does it make any sense? Duryodhan is such a tyrannic person. And Arjuna says, he is my brother. I will not kill him. He is my relative. Although he does mistakes, I should forgive him. Forgiveness is the greatest quality. Correct? You are right. I have to tolerate all his mistakes. Krishna, you only taught matra sparshastha kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkadaha agama apayino anityaha tam sitikshasva bharata. Therefore, let me exhibit some titiksha. Let me exhibit some tolerance. I will tolerate all the atrocities and aggressions and transgressions done by Mr. Duryodhan, Dushasan, Karna, Shakuni and party. Let's forgive them. What will you do then? I will go to the forest. I will start meditating. Or I'll become a mendicant. I'll start begging. Krishna says, I told you to tolerate happiness and distress. I never told you to tolerate injustice. Tolerance is an important virtue. But when to tolerate and when not to tolerate, we should have the discretion and discrimination. Tolerate happiness and distress. Tolerate heat and cold. But don't tolerate injustice. Especially when it is within your capacity and also your responsibility to counteract injustice. To keep quiet in the name of humility and tolerance is violence. Right? When you have the responsibility and authority and capacity to counteract injustice, if you keep quiet saying that I am very tolerant and forgiving, it doesn't make any sense. That's what Krishna is trying to say. Heat and cold you tolerate. Happiness and distress you tolerate. But don't tolerate injustice, even if they are your relatives. Just because they are your relatives, you will choose to forgive them? What is this? If they are not your relatives, if they try to disrobe a woman, then you will kill them, you will punish them. But because they are your relatives, you are forgiving them, you choose to tolerate them. Dharma means not to differentiate, not to discriminate between who is relative, who is not relative. Who is my blood relation, who is not my blood relation. Dharma should be administered to everybody. So, Krishna's compassion is on a very higher principle. It's not that Krishna is violent or suggests violence or Krishna is against compassion. He's the supreme teacher of compassion. If Krishna is not compassionate, why would he stay as Paramatma in all our hearts? Right? Even if the living entity commits such abominable activities and sinful activities and becomes a dog or a cat or a worm in stool also, Krishna doesn't leave that person. Krishna stays right within the hearts of all those living beings as Paramatma and guides them, gives them buddhi, gives them intelligence, gives them intuition, gives them direction. But they don't accept the direction. What can he do? He doesn't leave us. Although the conditioned souls are not interested in a relationship with Krishna, Krishna doesn't want to give up his relationship with them. He stays right within their hearts as Paramatma. Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattaha smritirjnanam apohanam cha. So many shlokas that show Krishna's compassion. So there is a difference between Arjuna's compassion and Krishna's compassion. Arjuna's compassion is based on bodily conception, material attachment, blood relation. But Krishna's compassion is on a much higher spiritual plane. Krishna is compassionate on all the people, all the citizens of Hastinapur and entire Aryavarta. If Duryodhan becomes the ruler, these people will be destroyed. They will suffer. Therefore, Yudhishthir, Dharmaraj should sit and rule according to Dharma, not this personification of a Dharma, Mr. Duryodhan. So, understand the Lord's will, because he is the supreme dharmic person. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Whatever Bhagavan does, whatever Bhagavan says, is dharma. And whenever Krishna is addressed in Bhagavad Gita, it's called Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Whatever Bhagavan says, whatever the Lord ordains is dharma. That's the definition of dharma. So, it's in our best interest to act according to Krishna's will. Arjuna is invincible. He is Savyasachi, yet he is an instrument only. He is Parantapa, he is Savyasachi, but yet he is Nimitta Matram. Nimitta Matram Bhava. However powerful we may be, we are just instruments in the Lord's will. Right? So, Krishna revealed the consequences of this war and told Arjuna, please be an instrument in my will. Till now we have centered our discussion on the Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata. Fine. Krishna had a plan, he had a mission, he has to establish dharma and he's using me as an instrument. Fine, I'll do. Is it an obligation? To act as an instrument in Krishna's will, is it an obligation? Undeniable order? No. When you act as an instrument in Krishna's will, you will be more empowered to do things which are beyond your capacity also. That's the glory of acting as an instrument in Krishna's will. Acting as an instrument in Krishna's will is not just a sentimental activity, or it's not just that he is bossing over us. Okay, anyways, you are my instrument, you are my amsha, you are my das, you serve me. Krishna is not bossing over us. You are das, I am boss. Okay? You just surrender to me. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. It's not that Krishna is bossing over us. By acting as an instrument in Krishna's will, we'll become more powerful than what we are supposed to be, what we are. Let me give some examples. Flute. Right? What is flute? It's just a hollow bamboo stick with some holes in it. If this bottle has some holes, can it hold water? Anything that has holes cannot hold anything. But Krishna's flute has holes all over its body, but Krishna's flute is holding so many mesmerizing melodies, ragas. When Krishna sings in different notes, oh my God, even the great masters of musical science also become mesmerized. Even Brahma becomes surprised. What raga Krishna is playing? I think I know it. Oh, no, he's changing the note. Maybe it's a different raga, which I'm never aware. Saraswati, do you know this raga? And Shiva becomes mesmerized. He's dancing, he's doing some Shivatandav. But when Krishna changes the note, he doesn't know how to dance. He asks Parvati, do you know this raga that Krishna is playing? Even the Devatas, the wives of the Devatas flying in the heavenly airplanes, they become mesmerized seeing Krishna's flute song. Even the rivers get stunned. The flowing rivers, the restless rivers become stunned. And they start offering their gifts to Krishna in the form of lotus flowers. With the arms of their waves, they offer these flowers to Krishna's lotus feet. Even the birds, which are very, very restless. Have you seen a sparrow? Within 1 second, the sparrow moves his head in 10 directions like this. That is a sparrow. But when Krishna plays the flute, sparrow becomes like a sage, closes its eyes, enters into deep dhyana. Stones melt when Krishna plays his flute. What is that flute? That sound coming from that flute is mesmerizing so many people. All the animate and inanimate and human and non-human species in the entire creation are getting stunned hearing Krishna's flute. How did flute get that power? Because the flute acted as an instrument in Krishna's hands. If a dry wooden piece of bamboo lying here with some holes on it, can it make any mesmerizing, can it create this as an impact in the entire universe? No. Only when that flute is in Krishna's hands, it can mesmerize the entire universe. Let's understand the power of Krishna's flute. Let's understand the power of being an instrument in Krishna's hands. It is only because this flute acted as an instrument in Krishna's hands, this flute became so powerful. This flute became so glorious in mesmerizing even the devatas. That's the power of acting as an instrument in Krishna's will. If we are willing to conduct ourselves according to Krishna's teachings, we'll become successful. That is success. And we'll do much more than what we can ordinarily do. That is the power of acting as an instrument in Krishna's will. One more example you want? You know this Damodar Leela? How many of you know Damodar Leela? When Krishna was doing some mischief as a small child in Vrindavan, maybe a 2-3-year-old boy, when he's doing some mischief in Vrindavan, he broke Mother Yashoda's butter pot. And he spoke lies. He distributed butter to the monkeys. When Yashoda Mata is trying to come and catch him, he ran away. He made Mother Yashoda wander and run behind him in all the streets of Vrindavan. And such Krishna was finally caught by Mother Yashoda. And now Yashoda Mata wanted to punish Krishna. She wanted to bind Krishna. She took some ropes and tried to bind Krishna. Long story, to cut it short, finally she managed to bind Krishna to the wooden grinding mortar. Actually, Krishna did not want to be bound. But because Yashoda Mata wanted to bind him, Krishna acted as an instrument in her will. If you act as an instrument in Krishna's will, Krishna will act as an instrument in your will. Now you understood the power of acting as an instrument in Krishna's will? Initially, we are seeing only Arjuna as being pushed or forced by Krishna to act as an instrument in his will. Okay, you'll become successful. I want to establish dharma. You cooperate with my mission. I'll give you salary. That is like one level. But we have seen the flute example. When the flute agreed to act as an instrument in Krishna's plan, Krishna's will, the flute did something which it cannot ordinarily do. Now you see, Krishna is acting as an instrument in Mother Yashoda's will. Krishna never wanted to get bound. Krishna was thinking, I have so much itinerary planned for the day. I need to go to that gopi's home and break her pots. I need to go to this gopi's home and steal her butter. I need to go to that gopi's home and pinch her babies. That gopi just has painted her walls so nicely and with some nice rangolis. I need to throw dirt on that wall. Krishna was making all these plans while Yashoda Mata is trying to bind Krishna. As Krishna was making these plans, when he did not have the will to be bound by Mother Yashoda, then the rope is falling short. 2 fingers short every time. Yashoda Mata joined more and more and more ropes, but still every time the rope is falling 2 fingers short. How? God knows. And Krishna's waist is not expanding. He did not expand himself like Virat Rupa. Aneka bahu daravaktra netram pashyami tvam sarvato nanta rupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishveshwara vishwarupa. Arjuna said, Krishna, I am unable to perceive this form. You are everywhere. This is 3D or 4D or 10D or 1000D, God knows. Generally, even if it's 3D, it's in front of you only. You can still move here and there. But whichever direction Arjuna sees, he's only seeing the universal form. He's everywhere. He spread all over the universe. Arjuna could not understand which is east, which is west, which is north, which is south, which is top, which is bottom. He could not understand. Where is he? That is Vishwarupa. He expanded. But Krishna in Damodar Leela, he did not expand himself like that. And when Yashoda Mata is trying to bind Krishna, Krishna is not getting bound. Krishna's waist is as big as Yashoda Mata's fist only. Such a small child is crying, Yashoda Mata, don't bind me, don't bind me. And we are worshipping that crying God. Then finally, Krishna noticed, Yashoda Mata is working so hard. She wants to discipline me. She wants to teach some good manners. She wants to correct my mistakes. Therefore, Mother Yashoda is trying to bind me. I must reciprocate with her endeavor. Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasit svabandhane. Seeing the parishram of Mother Yashoda, seeing the hard endeavor, effort of Mother Yashoda, she's perspiring, right? So, Swamatuhu svinnagatraya visrasta kabarasraja. Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripaya asit svabandhane. So she's early morning, she got up in the morning, in the Brahma Muhurta, she started churning butter for Krishna. She gave milk to Krishna. And when Krishna broke the butter pot and ran away, she ran behind Krishna in all the streets of Vrindavan. And finally she caught Krishna. She joined hundreds and hundreds of ropes. She got all the ropes in her home, and she was even borrowing ropes from neighbors' homes to bind Krishna. So much hard work. All for what? Out of her motherly love, motherly affection for Krishna, and try to just discipline him. Krishna noticed all this endeavor of Mother Yashoda, and kripa, he showed some kripa. Seeing her parishrama, Krishna showed some kripa. Parishrama is endeavor of a devotee. Kripa is the mercy of Krishna. When these two come together, Krishna comes under the control of a devotee. So, Krishna agreed to be born by Mother Yashoda. So, Krishna became an instrument of her will. All the earlier he was planning, I'll go to this Gopi's home, I have to play with my Gopa friends. But he kept aside all the plans. He became very merciful and he was born by Mother Yashoda. Now the real story begins. In our current context, Yashoda Mata went inside. She continued to do her household activities. Meanwhile, Balramji came there. He saw Krishna. He said, "Hey, how dare? Who has bound you like this? Who has arrested you like this? Krishna, tell me. Whoever has tied you, I will go and punish them. I am Ananta. I am Lakshmana. I am Seshanag. Who has the power to bind my brother?" Then Krishna silently said, "Balram, relax. It is Yashoda Mata who bound me." "Hey, pehla kyun nahi bataya?" "Yashoda Mata bound you?" Oh my God. He was roaring like a lion so far, he became like a cat. No, meow, meow. But still, Balram said, "Krishna, you are not supposed to do mischief like this. I told you hundreds of times, don't break pots, don't steal butter, don't be so mischievous. And even if you do some mischief, how can you do it in my absence? You will not have my protection. Right? At least I would have done something to protect you. You were alone and you are so adventurous." Actually, when Krishna jumped into Kaliya lake, Balram was not there. When Krishna entered into Aghasura's mouth, Balramji was not there. Whenever Balram is not there, Krishna becomes more mischievous. He becomes excited. Balram is very obedient and sober, but Krishna is very naughty and adventurous and experimental. Then Balramji thought, let me go and convince Mother Yashoda. He went to Mother Yashoda and said, "Mother Yashoda, do you know who Krishna is?" Yashoda Mata looked at him. "Who is Krishna?" "Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He is Bhagavan. He is Vishnu himself. He is the one who incarnated as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Rama, Narasimha, Trivikrama." "Oh, really? Then who are you?" Balramji said, "I am Lakshman. I am Anantasesh. I am Seshanag. I hold all the universes on my hoods." You know that? Then Yashoda Mata said, "All the incarnations in the universe have to take birth in my home only, or what?" They did not find any other place. Shut up and get out. If you speak a single word extra, I will also beat you and bind you with the same mortar like Krishna. Out. Then Balramji ran away. Now, Balramji came to Krishna and said, "I tried, but it did not work." Krishna started crying. Seeing Krishna, Balram also started crying. So now Krishna understood, I am in a bound condition. I am seeing two more souls also in a bound condition. I understand the pain of their situation. Who are they? Nalakuvera and Manigriva, the sons of Kuvera. They were standing there as trees, Yamalarjuna trees. Now, Krishna dragged this wooden grinding mortar that was tied to his belly And he went between the two Yamalarjuna trees and he pulled them hard, and the Yamalarjuna trees were uprooted. Now, let us see the power of acting as an instrument in Krishna's will. This rope was very small. Mother Yashoda did not bind Krishna with iron chains. And the wooden grinding mortar is so small, it is used to grind some spices in home. That's all. It's not stone, it's wooden. So simple. Krishna could easily drag 2-3-year-old boy. But the Yamalarjuna trees were so huge, so tall. Maybe with the amount of wood which is available in one of those trees, you can make 1,000 wooden grinding mortars. Or maybe more than that also. That's the power of these Yamalarjuna trees. The rope is very weak and the mortar is very small. But Krishna used this rope and mortar as instruments to uproot these huge, gigantic Yamalarjuna trees. This is the power of acting as instrument in Krishna's will. Ordinarily, the rope has no strength to pull down these trees. And the mortar also has no strength to pull down the trees. If you put this mortar between these two trees and try to pull the mortar with the rope, if the rope is stronger than the mortar will break. And if the mortar is stronger than the rope will break. But in either case, the trees will not be uprooted, isn't it? But the mortar did not break, the rope did not break, but the trees were uprooted. Why? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Krishna has empowered this rope and the mortar with the power to uproot this gigantic Yamalarjuna trees. That's the power of acting as an instrument in Krishna's will. Have you noticed this statement? I'm making it so many times. Just so that we get inspired to act as instruments in Krishna's will. The rope is so ordinary. Simple household rope. And the tree is all, the wooden mortar is also very small. But they had the power to uproot. When we agree to act as an instrument in Krishna's will, we will do things which are inconceivable, which are way beyond our power. We should not be so self-centric. We should not be thinking that I will be able to do it, I will not be able to do it. We can't do anything. Whatever we do, we are able to do only by the power given by God. When we are empowered by the Lord, when the Lord sanctions something, then we will be able to do. We have to do. But don't take credit. All credit goes to Krishna. He has given me eyes and nose and legs. Did I choose this body? Did I choose my parents? Did I choose this human form of life? It is Krishna who has given us in reciprocation with our consciousness that we have developed in the past. So whatever money, manpower, resources, talents, skills, experience that Krishna has given us, let us try to utilize that in His service, considering ourselves as instruments in His will. And work hard, sincerely. And don't be attached to the results. Results are not in our hands. Only working hard is in our hands. We need to attempt to utilize whatever we have in the Lord's service, but the result is in His hands. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur mate sangostva karmani. Karmanyeva adhikaraste. You have the adhikar. You have the right and responsibility to do your work. Second point. Ma phaleshu kadachana. You are not entitled for the results. You have no control over the results. And ma karma phala hetur bhur. Karma phala means the result of your activity. Karma is activity. Phala means the fruit, the result. Ma karma phala hetur bhur. Hetu means cause. Never consider yourself the cause of the result of your activity. I am doing that activity. How can I consider myself not the cause? You may have that question. You are not the cause, by the way. Krishna is sanctioning it. There are three doers of any action. First, the jiva. The jiva is the doer because the jiva desires to perform that activity. Second, the Lord, Krishna. He sanctions it. And when the Lord sanctions, then Prakriti, the nature, facilitates it. All three are doers. Jiva is the doer because the Jiva desires. Lord is the doer because he sanctions, he approves. Prakriti is the doer because Prakriti facilitates. You want to make paneer sabji? And yeah, you know the recipe. But can you create fire? Did you create paneer? Did you create all the spices? Did you create all the oil there? Did you create the vessel there? All these ingredients are given to us by the nature. And there are so many farmers, all the spices that you are putting there, so many farmers have grown, they did agriculture, they created it. So in the Jiva category, we saw three categories, right? Jiva, the Lord, and the Purusha, and the Prakriti, nature. So in the Jiva category, there are hundreds of Jivas involved. See, somebody has made this garland, very beautiful garland, excellent garland, right? But the beauty of the garland not only depends on the artistic abilities of the garland maker, the flowers have their natural beauty, natural color, natural fragrance. Here is a yellow flower, here is a maroon flower, here is a red flower. There are multicolor flowers, multiple shapes, multiple sizes, multiple fragrances. Right? All of them are put together. Ultimately, nature has provided. And why are they staying all of them? Why are the flowers staying together like this? There is a string. See the string? Krishna says, I am that string. Mattaha parataram nanyad kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. Krishna says, Mattaha parataram nanyad. Please understand, Arjuna, there is no one superior to me. Kinchidasti dhananjaya. Oh Dhananjaya, there is no one superior to me. Mai sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. Just like pearls are strung on a thread and pearls stay together in a necklace, in a mala like this, only when there is string inside. If there is no string, these cannot stay together. When there is no string, these flowers cannot stay together. Compare every element in the universe with all these flowers. And Krishna is the string that is holding them together. That is Krishna. And to act as an instrument in Krishna's will is the greatest ecstasy of life. Now, because the rope and the mortar acted as an instrument in Krishna's will, they were empowered to uproot Yamalarjuna trees that we have discussed. But why did Krishna go there? A sweet loving exchange between Mother Yashoda and her son is going on. Why did suddenly Krishna develop the desire to liberate these Yamalarjuna trees? Liberate Nalakar and Manigriva who are living in that Yamalarjuna trees? Because Narada Muni desired. Rishayar Bhagavato Bhutva. Narada Muni desired that make Krishna deliver these two Yamalarjuna trees. Krishna, acting as an instrument in Narada Muni's will, he took out time and dragged that wooden grinding mortar and uprooted these trees and liberated them. Krishna acted as an instrument in Yashoda Mata's will and also Narada Muni's will. Because these devotees wanted to act as instruments in Krishna's will. Have you seen the glory of being an instrument in Krishna's will? You will not only conquer your enemies, you will not only enjoy a prosperous kingdom, you will not only gain reputation, you will not only perform something way beyond your capacity, you will ultimately win Krishna's heart. And he will start acting according to your will. That's the power of bhakti. Basically, acting as an instrument in Krishna's will means performing bhakti yoga. That's all. Why? Although Krishna spoke about karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and bhakti yoga, why bhakti is superior? Why bhakti is considered supreme? What is karma yoga? Karma means action. Yoga means, what is yoga? Connection with the Supreme Lord. Connecting our consciousness with the Supreme Lord is called yoga. Karma yoga means when we try to connect our consciousness with the Supreme through karma, through our activities, through our actions, it is called karma yoga. When we try to connect our consciousness with the Supreme through knowledge, It is called Jnana Yoga. When you try to connect our consciousness with the Supreme with our meditation, it is called Dhyana Yoga. When you connect our consciousness with the Lord through devotion, love, it is called Bhakti Yoga. Of these 4 types, Bhakti is the best. How? Let's analyze. Karma Yoga, for example. Karma means you are working for somebody, but you may not love that person. Right? How many of you are working for your bosses but not but don't love your bosses? Right? Many of you must be working for some companies, and some of you may love your bosses, but not everyone. Right? You may work for someone, but you may not love that person. Means karma doesn't include prema or bhakti, but bhakti definitely includes karma. When you love someone, you will definitely work for that person. I love you, but I will not do anything for you. Does it work like that? When you love somebody, you will do something for them, some service for them. And you will do whatever they want. So, bhakti includes karma, but karma doesn't include bhakti. Let's come to jnana. Jnana means knowledge, knowing someone. So, you know somebody, you know 10 people, you know 100 people. Do you love everyone? You may know someone, you may not love that person. But if you love somebody, you will definitely know them. And you want to know about them more and more. What does it mean? Jnana doesn't include bhakti, but bhakti includes jnana. Agreed? Let's come to dhyana. Dhyana means meditation. What is meditation? Deep thinking. You may think about 100 people, but do you love all of them? But if you love someone, you will definitely think about them repeatedly, constantly, isn't it? Means dhyana may not include bhakti, but bhakti definitely includes jnana. Karma, jnana, dhyana, these 3 things means action, knowledge and meditation. They may not include bhakti or love, but love or bhakti definitely includes karma, jnana, dhyana. Therefore, bhakti yoga is the ultimate conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. And while Krishna establishes the supremacy of bhakti yoga in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam goes one step ahead and elaborately describes the science of bhakti and presents hundreds and hundreds of examples of devotees who have imbibed that spirit of bhakti. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. All these devotees are humble instruments in Krishna's will. So, there are many other things that we can discuss, but I think we will conclude now. It's already 7:45. Last few minutes, if you have any questions or comments, or if you wish to share your favorite takeaways, let's have 5 minutes revision to retain what we have learned instead of questions. Share your favorite takeaway. Anyone? You raise your hand and speak whatever you liked in last 1 hour or 70 minutes of discussion.
I love the thing that you say, right? Like, sometimes even injustice happens, you just walk away because we think like we don't want to be violent. But like, that I have never thought of. That really touched my heart.
When you have the capacity and responsibility to counteract injustice, keeping quiet is a violence. We have to address that injustice, especially when we have the capacity and responsibility. If it's beyond your capacity, what can you do? If it's outside your circle of influence, what can you do? But at least if it is within your capacity, you should do it, address it. Arjuna is a warrior, prince. He has the responsibility and capacity to counteract this injustice caused by Duryodhan. And he says, I will go and beg. Doesn't make any sense. Therefore, Krishna supported quote-unquote violence to establish dharma. Okay, anyone else? Yes, Prabhu.
I like the Brahman to Sakshat Bhagavad Pranita, but I was contemplating this dharma, adharma. I was thinking, oh, Kali Yuga is too much of adharma. But this adharma is there in every your age. Then Krishna is trying to establish dharma, but I feel maybe it is success in one aspect, but it's again decline. I was contemplating as why is it so? Even though Krishna is trying, sending people, sending devotees, but every age it goes up, it declines. Goes up, declines. So any significance I don't understand why.
Oh,
So
it's a question. Okay, fine. From reflection round, we went to question round direct suddenly. The answer is Krishna never interferes with the minute independence that we have. We all have minute independence. Some swecha. Krishna is supremely independent. Sarva Swatantra. Because we are his amshas, we also have some minute independence, little bit of Swatantrata, swecha. The way we want to use it, we will use it. Krishna never interferes with that. If somebody wants to become very adharmic by misusing their independence, Krishna will wait. Krishna, as you said, Krishna will send so many people, acharyas, to reclaim us. He will present himself in the form of so many scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam to transform our consciousness. Despite having all these facilities and privileges, if we don't transform ourselves, then Krishna will allow us to suffer at our own risk. It is our choice. It's not his problem. Let me give a simple example. Any kids here? Somehow in today's class, not many kids are there. Okay. Very small. Yeah, come. This boy, come. One more kid? Yes, come. We'll have some game now. Let's play. One more child? Yes, come. There are two corners. Two kids are coming here. Come. Okay. What's your name? Balram. Wow. Come. What's your name? Agrim. Okay, Agrim, you please stand there. Now he's not Agrim. He's sun. He was sun god. Okay? Your son. And he is the hero, Balram. Sun is rising. Okay? This is sun. Sun is rising. What do you see, Agrim? Who is this? Sun, not Agrim, sun. Okay. Anyways, I'll speak for himself. He's too small to speak. So he's seeing the sun. When he faces towards the sun, he will see bright sunlight. Right? Bright sunlight. But if he chooses to turn his face away from the sun, he's not turning only. he chooses to turn away from the sun, what will happen? He will see dark shadow. Right? He will see his dark shadow, right? Why is he seeing the dark shadow? Because he chose to turn his face away from the sun. That's why he's seeing the shadow. But if he chooses to see the sun, he will only see light. But please tell me, why there is shadow behind him in the first place? Because sun is behind him, there is shadow in front of him. So the cause of the shadow is the sun only. Sun is the source of light also. Sun is the source of bright light also. Sun is the source of dark shadow also. But he can see bright light if he faces the sun. He can see dark shadow if he turns his face away from the sun. Similarly, God is the source of dharma also. God is the source of adharma also. But if we choose to follow the instructions of the Lord, you can go, Prabhu. Balramji. Agree? Done. Game is over. So, if we choose to follow the Lord, if we choose to perform bhakti, if we choose to follow the instructions of the Lord, if we follow dharma, in short, we will not have to suffer. But if we choose to turn our face away from the Lord, we have to see so much of adharma, we'll have to suffer so much. It all depends on our choice. The number of people who made the choice of turning towards the Lord were more in the previous yugas, and that number is very less in this yuga. In Kali Yuga, people who turn their face away from the Lord are more in number, they outsmart. They outnumber all the dharmic people. So the Lord is the source of dharma also, adharma also. But we need not look at adharma at all if we see the Lord. It's our choice. Now you may say, if the Lord is all powerful, why can't He hypnotize us? Why can't He manipulate us? Why can't He make us dharmic? Why can't He make everybody into pure devotee? If you have that question, I have a profound answer. You have that question? Then my answer to that question is, if the Lord manipulates us, hypnotizes us, or influences us to become good or pure devotees, then we are machines. We are not human beings. Isn't it? Unless there is a voluntary spirit in our service to the Lord, in our approach towards the Lord doesn't relish that service. If I'm thirsty, I need water. If somebody brings the water and throws on my face, pillow, I don't feel like drinking it. Isn't it? Or if I know that this person is giving me water because somebody has threatened him. If you don't give this water bottle to Gauranga Darshan, I will arrest you. You know that? Then he becomes scared and he gives me. Because he did not offer me that water with love. He offered me out of obligation, or he was forcefully offering this water. I am not very pleased to accept that water, right? Although I need it. If you can't accept even a cup of water, if it is offered to you with force, offered to you without love, how can you expect the Lord to accept your devotion, which is forced? He doesn't want forced love. He doesn't want hypnotized love. He doesn't want anyone to love him under some spell or some hypnotism or some force. He wants us to love him genuinely, voluntarily, without any agendas. He waits till we develop that voluntary spirit. He patiently waits. He's longing to reunite with us. When will this stupid conditioned soul stop his endeavors to enjoy this material nature and exploit this material nature? When will he turn his face towards me? I'm there to embrace him. But we want to control. We want to exercise our minute independence. We want to misuse that minute independence and behave whimsically. And that's how we create havoc in life. That's why there is decline in dharma. The reason for decline in dharma is the conditioned souls are misusing their minute independence and not making a voluntary choice to serve the Lord, to follow the instructions of the Lord as written in the scriptures. Does it make sense? Okay, any other reflection, realization, comment, objection? Even objections are welcome.
I really like the 5 levels of consciousness. I mean, I was listening to Nitai Sevani Mataji's lecture, and she was like telling it's always good to have a bhakti check. Not bhakti, it's a sadhana check. So, but definitely, maybe I'm not in first two, not in the last two, maybe like half in the last two, like fourth. So, what are the changes, Prabhuji, or what are the symptoms happening? How will you, or else it'll feel like, ekkada vesin gongal akkade unnadi annattu, not like that. So, I mean, we are practicing for so many years, but you feel like you're not progressing. So, what are the changes? Maybe like materially or spiritually, what are the changes, or whether you're attached to something or not? What are the changes, Prabhuji? I just wanted to know.
I'll try to paraphrase the question.
Yeah, I did ask the question.
And you see if that is your question. Sometimes we may feel stagnancy in spiritual life. We feel that we are not progressing sufficiently. How do we check? And how do we improve? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So, we can do 3 things. 1, do some honest introspection. What is honest introspection? Unbiased introspection, whether I am chanting the holy names of the Lord properly or not. Am I being prayerful in my chanting or mechanical in my chanting? Am I experiencing that feeling of dependency and remembrance of the Lord, or am I just doing it as a matter of formality or mechanically? So we need to evaluate, self-evaluation, do some honest introspection. What is the intention behind my chanting or hearing or doing any service? Whether are we chanting in a mode of dependence or just to get some name, fame and prestige? Am I reading Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam to become a scholar, to become a philosopher, to become popular? Or am I studying this book just to understand Krishna Tattva and dedicate myself to him more? Am I doing this service for some name, fame or public recognition? Or I genuinely want to express my love for the Lord through this service? So we need to do some self-check, introspection. That's the first step. First is introspection. Honest, thorough, unbiased introspection and self-evaluation. That's the first step. Second is peer review. Ask other devotees. Give them some liberty to correct you if you need that correction. And ask them, you have been seeing me since 1 year or 2 years or 10 years. Do you have any feedback for me? Can you please tell me where can I improve? Do you feel I'm being stagnant? Or am I progressing nicely? What is your understanding about my service, my sadhana, my seva? You can just take some reviews from those people who are little close to you, who are your well-wishers, who have been in your journey, a part of your journey. Third, offer a genuine, sincere, heartfelt prayer to the Lord. Oh Lord, please reveal to me where I went wrong. Wherever I go wrong, wherever I have gone wrong, will you please correct me. Reveal that to me so that I can improve myself. It all begins with a desire. We will not be stagnant if we have a desire to improve. And how do we exercise that desire to improve? By introspection, by taking inputs from others, by offering prayers to the Lord. Okay. Any other question, comment? Yes.
I had a reflection, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
You can go ahead.
Okay. I noticed that the two instruments, like the examples you gave, the flute and the mortar and the rope, the instruments willingly or unwillingly like brought other souls closer to Krishna. Like through the flute, like all of the animals and residents in Vrindavan, they got closer to Krishna in terms of their love. And then through the mortar and the rope, Nalakuvira and Manigriva, they got liberation. So that was my reply.
Amazing. She brought out a very wonderful point here. When we are willing to act as instruments in Krishna's will, we will be purified, we will be uplifted, we will perform things way beyond our capacity, but we will also become instrumental in bringing others closer to Krishna. Very beautiful. Claps for her. Any other point?
I also had a question, Prabhuji, but I can also ask that later.
You can ask.
Okay.
Mic is already in your hands.
So I noticed that different people, like when I speak to them through their experiences, they have a different like opinion or idea of who Krishna is compared to what I have. Like I've noticed that some people have this idea that he can sometimes get angry when you do stuff. But I personally, I don't, I never tell people that, but I just in my heart, I'm like, no, I don't think so. So I noticed that there can be different like experience.
Perceptions.
Yeah. I was thinking, can all of them be true, or is there?
All of them can be true. Mallanam shanindranam naravarah strinam smaro murtiman gopanam svajano satam kshiti bhujam shasta swapitro sishuh mrityar bhojapater virada vidusham tattvam param yoginam Vrishninaam paradevate vidito rangam gatah sagrajah. This is a shloka spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. When little 10-year-old Krishna entered into the wrestling arena of Kamsa. When Krishna entered the wrestling arena of Kamsa, Mother Devaki and Vasudeva saw him like a child. All the Gopas saw him like their friend. Common people, common men there, they saw him as the best of all males. And the women, younger girls who saw him, they had some loving feelings for him. And when the wrestlers saw him, the mountain-like wrestlers saw him, they saw him like a thunderbolt. When Bhojapati, when Kamsa saw Krishna, he saw him like death personified. 10 categories of people in that assembly saw Krishna in 10 different ways. Basically, we see Krishna according to our own consciousness. Some people see Krishna as order supplier. Means they break one coconut in front of the temple. They expect a car, or first rank in their exam, or a big bungalow, or lottery ticket, or whatever. They have green card, red card, yellow card, some success in business. So they see Krishna as order supplier. And some people see Krishna as a relief giver. They are called Artha Bhaktas. They go to see Krishna in the temple. Mandir gaya to shanti milta hai. जीवन में बहुत अशांति है. Because they are troubled by so many miseries in the world. They want to go to the temple, see Krishna as a relief giver. Okay, that's all. There is no love. There is no love or service. So different people perceive the Lord or approach the Lord in different ways, and the Lord will reciprocate with them accordingly. Ye yathamam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. All of them are correct. But some are negative perceptions, some are positive perceptions. Yeah, the perception is there. But what is the right perception? To see him as a lovable personality, an object of love, or someone who loves me the most. Whether we know it or not, whether we realize it or not, whether we realize it today or tomorrow or after 10 years or after 10 lifetimes, this is a fact. You know what is that? Krishna loves us the most and we love Krishna the most. Krishna loves us more than anyone else could ever love us. And we love Krishna more than anyone else or anything else, including ourselves. That's a fact. Krishna loves us. Many people love us in this world. Friends love us, family members love us, and classmates love us, bosses love us. But no one can love us as much as Krishna loves us. Because he stays right within our hearts. All our friends and family members will be there with us only for one lifetime. But beyond one lifetime, Krishna is there with us. Means he loves us the most. And in our purest state of consciousness, in the Purna Vikasita Chetana, we love Krishna more than anyone else. But because we are not in Purna Vikasita Chetana, we are not in fully blossomed, developed consciousness, our consciousness is contaminated with so many material desires and lust and envy and pride and greed and all kinds of stuff. Our love for Krishna is diverted towards so many unnecessary things. Therefore, we perceive Krishna as an angry man, violent man, as you quoted some of your colleagues. So, yes, people perceive the Lord according to their own consciousness. Duryodhan saw Krishna as ordinary. When Krishna went to Duryodhan with a peace message, Duryodhan tried to arrest Krishna, chastise Krishna, scold him, insult him. Forget half the kingdom, forget 5 villages. I will not give that much land to Pandavas, which is accommodated under the tip of a needle. Get lost, Krishna. And Krishna is the master of millions of universes. Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. From his bodily pores, millions of universes come. And here is one insignificant king of one little province called Hastinapur telling Krishna, get lost. You will not get any kingdom. You have come as a messenger of these people. Let me arrest you now. Get the ropes. He tried to arrest Krishna, not knowing Krishna is the master of all universes. Because of which we cannot recognize Krishna. We see Krishna in multiple undesirable ways. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Just a
We'll
small
conclude.
announcement, Prabhuji.
Announcement and conclusion. Okay? It's
One
8:10.
So, just want to mention that Prabhuji is starting Bhakti Vedanta classes tomorrow, early morning at 4:30. So, Prabhu will be leaving very soon. Before that, want to mention that his books, we all know Subodhini books are here. So, please do take a moment to check it out, quickly before Prabhu makes a move. Subodhini books are nothing but easily the guidebooks to read our Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita very easily. It's very sweet. And also there is children books, moral books, and so on. So just make a mention before that. One final question, Prabhu.
Who? Yes, last.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So you were mentioning about the free will. Krishna gives us all free will. So using that free will, sometimes when we are spiritual, we can reason even in a spiritual mode that doesn't offend anyone, whether it's logically or emotionally, when we take certain decisions. But sometimes it becomes very difficult to actually keep in mind about our sadhana and take certain decisions, which may not go well with my practice, my sadhana.
I couldn't keep track of so many things. Can you keep it concise, Mataji?
How to actually, apply our free will in spirituality to take certain decisions which may not go well in my sadhana practice, in my sadhana.
Anukulyasya sankalpam, pratikulyasya varjanam. These two are the guiding principles for any decision making in spiritual life. Anukulyasya sankalpa means let me adopt whatever is favorable for my spiritual progress. Pratikulyasya varjana means let me avoid whatever is unfavorable for my spiritual progress. Whatever decision we take, if we remember these two things, is this decision, is this action, is this speech, is this endeavor favorable to my spiritual progress or not? What is favorable to our spiritual progress? Whatever is in line with the scriptural teachings is favorable. Whatever is not in line with the scriptural teachings or teachings of Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, that's unfavorable. Let me avoid that. Avoid the unfavorable, adopt the favorable. Then our decision making falls in place. If sometimes we are unable to decide what is favorable and what is not favorable, you can always consult some other devotees who are more experienced than us, who are our well-wishers. At least in ISKCON, we have so much guidance. So many devotees are there. Present the case in front of them, take out some time. Present the case in front of them, then ask them. Right? Hare Krishna. So we'll conclude here. Thank you so much for being here in large numbers. I'm very grateful to you for your kind attention. I seek your blessings and prayers for my services. And if there are any mistakes that I have made in the presentation, kindly forgive me. Hare Krishna.
Gauranga Darshan Prabhu ki jai.